Welcome to Dynamic Foundry Group small video section. Today we are going to see a small video on 7 waste methodology. So let us start the video. First, let us understand and identify the waste. Identifying waste in the workspace is very important. Waste is nothing but non-value added activities. So we have to increase value added operations in our process and workspace management. Any process that changes the nature, shape, or characteristics of the product in line with customer requirement is called as value-added activity. So those activities which are not adding any value to the cost or price is non-value-added activity. So this is where we are losing our profit, and value-added activities will always giving us or increase our profit margin. So let us first try to identify the waste so that we can eliminate those waste and increase our profit margin. So what can we do to eliminate waste? First, we need to identify what is waste and what is not waste. Then we can look at the ways of eliminating or reducing the waste which are identified. So we go upon waste, that is, we say always that there are waste of time, waste of money, or waste of efforts. All these things we normally talk on every day. But what is waste? For simplicity, we can divide waste into 7 categories, or we can identify 7 wastages. It is called as Team Wood. Team Wood is a simple short form made to remember these 7 types of wastages. So let us understand what are 7 type of wastages and what is Team Wood. So it is T for transportation, I for inventory, M for motion, W for waiting, O for overproduction, O for overprocessing, and D for defect. So these are 7 waste identified. So this is another picture saying these 7 waste types, that is transportation, inventory, motion, waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, and defects. So let us start understanding each waste one by one. First is transport or transportation. There are a lot of unnecessary transportation like large transport or small transport such as manual labor transport, etc., which can give you a wastage or which can reduce your efficiency. So it is very important to avoid or reduce this transportation. In the picture, you can see a person carrying out the boxes manually. It is nothing but a waste. He can use a smarter way of carrying out this material or transporting this material with the forklift or stacker so that his fatigue will be less, his efforts will be less, and there will be no damage, there will be no wastages, and his efficiency will be better. So this can be improved by change in work environment. This is very important. Changes in the workspace or work or shop floor layout many times give you fantastic results in the terms of reducing transportation. You can see here a picture where you can see in the black arrow the material transportation in the first case, that is it is been uh, transport for three different layers, and then it is go to customer. So it takes a lot of time, lot of transportation is there. This transportation will take cost, time, and there are chances of damages as well. So to avoid this cost of transportation, there is uh, cost in terms of rupees and time. One has to increase or improve his layout or workspace management. So by changing the layout, it can be directly dispatched to the customer. So this is how one can increase productivity, reduce damages, and reduce cost by improving the factory layout or layout of the workspace management to get better result. Second waste is inventory. Inventory is very important waste to control. Carrying stock attracts cost and storage problem. Storage leads in to stacking, racking, sophisticated computers, barcoding, automation, all these activities adding no value to the product. So it is very important to avoid inventory. Inventory will definitely give you huge impact in terms of money. Excess inventory will also hide defects inside the product. So inventory cost is very important and one has to take care of that by reducing the inventory or keeping optimized inventory at his shop. So this is how one can. This is this is what you can see here. What did you buy and what did you need? You have buy a lot of material, but you need only small material. So balance material will be remaining in your stock as inventory, and you have to give the money to the supplier immediately or as per his term. But other material which is in your stock will be consumed after a long time, and so the inventory cost will be higher. So you'll be not only giving higher inventory cost, but it will also consume your space. तो कहीं ना कहीं इन्वेंट्री में आपका स्पेस भी जाया होता है और साथ में आपको पैसे का घाटा भी होता है। तो इसलिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आपकी इन्वेंट्री आप कंट्रोल करें, उसे मर्यादा में रखें। यू हैव टू कीप इन्वेंट्री इज ऑप्टिमाइज लेवल। There are three types of inventories. Red inventory, in which parts which are got obsolete. Gray inventory, parts which are not having schedules at the moment, but it will get cleared soon by the customer. And green inventory, which is in process inventory. So what are the actions? Red inventory, red zone parts needs to be destroyed immediately to avoid loss, because it is again an inventory. There are no chances that it will customer will take that inventory in the future as well, because the parts are absolute. So at least you can melt it and get some money out of it and reduce your inventory cost. You can recover some amount by scrapping it as a scrap value. So it is very important to take decision on red zone inventory immediately. For gray inventory, you need to follow up with your customer to clear it as early as possible, so that it can be taken by the customer as early as possible. Green inventory is always a moving inventory, so it will continue to move as customer's schedule comes regularly. Third waste is a motion. Motion is another important waste. Typically, single-handed operations where both should be used, stretching unnecessarily or walking between things. All these takes time or use time poorly. None add value. So this motion will not add any value to your product. It will non-value added activity. So any movement, just like lifting a material or keeping material from one area to another area, it's a motion, or bending, it's a motion, but it will not add any value to your product. So it is non-value added activity. So this non-value added activity, that is the motion, has to be avoided or reduced as much as possible. So you can see in this picture, you can say a pain in a back because he is bending and doing that work. In the other picture on my right, you can see a person standing and material is kept on a table, and he can easily do that without any fatigue. So in avoiding motion, it will increase his efficiency by reducing the fatigue. So non-valued activities are reduced, his fatigue will be reduced, and his efficiency will get increased. So increasing efficiency will help you to improve the productivity and improve quality of work. So it is very important to adhere to this motion waste. You have to remove or reduce motion waste as much as possible. Is another picture where you can see a person bending and lifting the material. So you can see it is there are chances that his back pain will be there, and his may got absent for next day. Your productivity will go down. There are chances that his efficiency will be go down as day progresses. So it's very important to reduce such kind of motion of a man or equipment that adds no value. Work smarter, not harder. So it is very important to work smarter than working hard, or just to remove the fatigue. It is very important to work smarter than harder. Fourth waste is waiting. So waiting time is very crucial. Machines are waiting for the material to load on. So typically waiting for products or services from uh, preceding operation, waiting for work from their previous setup, or waiting for cycles to finish or meetings to start. All these waitings will add to your cost. It is non-value added activity again. It will reduce your efficiency. It will reduce your productivity and capacity as well. It will unnecessarily dilute your capacities. So it is very important to avoid waiting. The boss is waiting for the information to take a decision. So it's very important that decision making will be faster if there is no waiting. And for that, the information should flow immediately to the boss. So waiting of a metal for the molds waiting for cores, machine waiting in the machine shop for the castings. All these waitings will reduce the efficiency of machine, efficiency of man, and indirectly it will reduce your profit margins. It will reduce your capacity utilization. Next, fifth waste is overproduction. Overproduction is another important waste. One has to see that this waste is reduced by producing the required quantities only. Do not make overproduction, that is excess quantity. Excess quantity will increase your inventory, and that inventory may have defects inside it, which can be highlighted only after a long time. So it is very important to produce only required castings or only required products, so that there will not be any excess inventory. So producing more than needed hides multitude of problems: excessive setup times, machine faults, risk of producing absolute stock, and more or less it will also consume the space that you have already. So you need to take care of all these things and to avoid all these things are over processing. You are painting unseen areas, unnecessary tight tolerances, polishing beyond the level required that customer do not want to pay for is over processing. To avoid over processing, so that you can match up your cost, match up your process time, and so that you can earn the profit. It's very important to reduce or eliminate over processing activities. Seventh and last waste is defect. Defect is nothing but bad quality material. It may be rejection, it may be salvage, it may be deviation. So rejects are always produced by system and procedures created by management. If operators fails, it is because the process allowed them to fail through the inadequate training, or because process is not capable in first place. So it's very important that you have a good adequate process control. You must have a good process design that will not allow you to make or produce non-defective, uh, you will not allow to produce defective parts. So it's very important that you will produce only non-defective, that is okay parts, and so that your rejection levels or salvage, or we can say deviations will or rework will get down. So bad quality will get down, and definitely if your efforts will make sure that all the parts you make goes to customer directly, and it will help you to improve your profitability, improve your capacity utilization, and bottom line as well. So you can say seen here the parts are scanned and there are defects. If part is defective, it will take out. So your line will stop, your overall process will get hampered, the customer will get hampered, and your planning will get hampered. So it is very important to avoid defects in the process. Basically, waste management is maintained by each housewife in their kitchen. It's a very easy to understand because if you go to your kitchen, your wife or your sister or your mother will follow all these steps in your kitchen. You can see there is no waiting, the motion are less, inventory levels are less, there are zero defects. Will not see they will run away for getting sugar or getting milk uh, with the gas is on. They all always have enough inventory, but they do not have excess inventory as well. They control the defects. We are not seeing that whatever food they are making, they are throwing it out because of it is not of good quality. So all these things they are doing very well. You can see the motion is very less. The required material for the cooking is placed so such that they can easily assess that and take and use it properly. So it is very important to understand and to learn from them how to manage this seven waste management or methodology from the kitchen. So it is very important to see and learn from them. Another new waste is identified and it is called as waste of talent. We all know we have a good employee team inside our organization, and most of the employee has some or other good talent inside him or some good capacity or some good additional value he had. We have to use those capacities, use those talents so that we can get benefit. Organization will get benefit of those values or that skills or that talent to improve the organization's profit, improve organization's efficiency and productivity. So one has to identify that talent and utilize it. So that waste of talent is another new concept that has came and one has to understand what is that and we have to utilize that talent of each and every employee of our organization to see the organization flourishes the effectively. So remedies to overcome these seven ways. So now we have to understand how we can overcome this seven ways methodology. Number one is produce only what is needed. So one has to see that what is needed, only that has to be produced. No overproduction. Carry only essential stocks. So it is very important to keep essential stock or your stock should be optimized. Use transportation more wisely. Produce work to standard requirement. This is very important to use control plan or follow control plan wisely or very strictly. Plan our production process properly. That is, process design has to be done very carefully and wisely. Put all efforts to the best possible use, that is, the use of your resources effectively. Train to make quality work every time. So, your training to employee is very important. Use of their talent is very important to make sure that you utilize them in a proper and effective way. So this is from my side. Thank you very much. Hope you understand the seven ways methodology and you will utilize and use it in your daily work to improve efficiency, productivity, to reduce defects and to improve the bottom line of your organization. Thank you. Thank you very much.